So, Lizzie Arnold, Winter Olympic champion. We're here at the home of the London Summer Games. And for those who haven't been following your life over the last 2 years, what have you been up to since you won gold?
I've been up to quite a lot actually. After the Olympics, I realised that I hadn't yet been Olympic or European champion in my sport, so that was the next big goal for me. I went straight back into the gym after Sochi and competed the next year and became European and world champion. So after I'd kind of got all the medals that I'd ever dreamt of in my sport, I realised that I really needed to take a break away from sport. So I took a whole year of competition time away. I was still training in the gym and realised that I actually quite like gym training and found that love for my sport again. And I've just recently, about 3 weeks ago, come back into the skeleton world of sliding. We have 20 athletes now, so a really big team than when I left, and loads of competition. So I was quite nervous the first time I went down again, and it was so fast, a lot faster than I actually remember it being. It's hard and scary, and I've got a few bruises on the way down. But yeah, I'm back in it now and back on the World Cup team.
So a few things there. First of all, you won Olympic gold, which is the pinnacle. And I mean, well done you, because you didn't sit back and smoke the proverbial cigar. And neither, it seems, did you struggle for motivation, even though you'd almost sort of peaked at the very best. You were determined to sort of follow that through with other titles.
Well, I knew that I was at my performance best after the Olympics. I was in fantastic shape and I was performing well on the track, and I still had quite a few sliding performance goals that I was way off of achieving. So I kind of went full throttle at it for another year and and achieved it all. And it was a really strange moment to sit back and think, you know, why am I actually doing it now? What's the purpose of me grinding hard every day in the gym? And it was one of those moments when I thought, you know, I just can't do it anymore. I can't keep going until the next Olympics, which were like 3 years away. So I took the brave decision of telling my coaches that I'm struggling and I need some time and I need some help and support, and luckily they gave it to me.
So rather like, say, Catherine Granger, who took time off, and then when she returned, all the juices were flowing again, and she fell back in love, if you like. That's what's happened with you. That taking time off has probably got you back stronger, more determined than ever.
Well, I couldn't compare myself to an amazing athlete like Catherine Granger. Oh my gosh, I was so impressed watching her in Rio. And that's one of the things, not only taking time off from my sport, but watching other Olympians in Rio, watching how hard they train and how much they wanted to do well, really kind of fired it up again in my stomach. And to think Pyeongchang is only just over a year away, so I know I can keep going until then and give it everything I've got.
So another point you made was, in your absence and now returning, suddenly there's sliders everywhere. Yes. Which is, you must take some credit for that, and Amy Williams as well. And it's you're not the first, you're the latest, and the skeleton bob is getting a bigger and bigger deal in this country. Who would have thought anybody would have said that 20 years ago? So this is a serious sport taken very seriously by GB now, isn't it?
The Winter Olympics have always been, the younger brother of the Summer Games. But out in Sochi, we got quite a few medals, not only in skeleton, but curling and other sports. We had great performances. And every couple of years, we have a talent search for athletes coming into skeleton. So during my time off, there were like 10 more female athletes onto the programme who were all very, very good already. So, not only did Amy push me, hopefully now I'm pushing other athletes to come through, and hopefully they don't get too good over the next year and a half and beat me to Pyeongchang. But it does mean a lot. I'm very proud that I was a little bit a part of their journey.
Let's go further. 20 years ago, the Winter Olympics Team GB, give or take Torval and Dean or whatever, was probably considered by the European countries as a bit of a joke, Team GB. Well, nobody's laughing now, and apart from you guys, also, especially with sort of the more extreme winter sports that have come in now, the snowboarding, etc., we've actually got some serious prospects, haven't we, for the next Olympics?
I think the next Winter Olympics will be really exciting because you've got more slope-style events. There's more, more technical, more exciting events to watch, and that's what the Olympics are about. Performing at your best, being competitive, but also making it a spectacle. And skeleton, you know, it is a massive spectacle. The amount of people who have come up to me and said, I watched you on the telly and I was screaming at the telly. People really bought into the sport of skeleton, and that's what I love about it, is that you can just watch it on the TV and you can get it. It's the fastest one down the track. It's easy to watch anyway.
Now, before we talk about Pyeongchang, there's one thing you omitted when I said, what have you been up to since the last Winter Olympics? And I don't think your new husband will be happy about this.
So 6 months ago, James and I got married. During my time off, we also bought our first house. So I kind of did all the massive life events in that time off. So that really kept me quite busy. But yeah, he's a very supportive husband, and he knows how hard I work to be a skeleton athlete, and I hope that I support him as much as he supports me.
So when you fall off I'm going to twist analogies here. When you fall off a skeleton bob, you should get straight back on it again. Now, you didn't fall off it, but you took some time off.
I did.
And now you're coming back. How hard will it prove to be? Is it proven to be? And how much more do you need to raise your game? Because time doesn't stand still for anyone, does it?
Getting back on the sled for the first time after 18 months off, I thought it would be fine, but it was a lot harder and a lot faster and a lot more challenging. 3 weeks of practice now, I can say that I'm pretty much up there with my performance best. I got a few track records in Norway, which is always good news. But the world has moved on. There's a really strong young German team, Tina Hermann, who absolutely demolished the rest of the field last year. So I mean, she will be my biggest rival looking ahead to this season.
Now, I don't know whether you know this or not, I don't know whether anybody's told you or not, but if you were to win in Pyeongchang, I think you probably know this, no British Winter Olympians ever won 2 Olympic gold medals or defended 2 Olympic gold medals. You've got a chance of doing that. Do these things matter? Are they important? You know, setting records, making sporting history, do they motivate?
I think that it's really hard to look that far ahead and look at big titles and legacy. Essentially all I'm trying to do is perform at my best and do myself justice, and yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
But the hunger's there.
Yes.
There's much more to do.
Yeah. I mean, the Sochi Games, I was very nervous going into it. I was very there was a lot of pressure around, and I was desperate to do my best. So some nights before the Sochi Olympics, you know, I'd just cry myself to sleep. It was such hard work. I was desperate to do well. But now, having been through that experience, I know what the Olympics are about. I know how much it takes. I'm hoping that this time around, you know, it's a very different, fresh perspective, but I'm just hoping that I can do myself the justice that I did in Sochi.
So instead of being defending Olympic champion, there to be shot at, the great scout for everybody else, actually, your feeling is, your mentality is, look, I've won my Olympic gold, so that's brilliant, but also I can deal with this now because I've been there and I've done it.
Yeah, I think that's the massive positive that I've got coming back into the sport, is I know what it takes, and I loved the Olympics. So not just the competition itself, but I loved the whole experience of it. So that's what I'm most looking forward to in Pyeongchang. Being part of the Olympics is just the best experience in the world.
So before the Olympics, it's the World Cup this year, 8 events.
Yeah.
The goal is to win, presumably.
Yeah, so the World Cup circuit being 8 races, it's about consistency, having, you know, safe runs down the track, be happy and healthy at the end of the season. But of course, I enter every competition to win.